It will take a while. Now once it will download in your machine, just you can simply execute this file, and you will execute, when you want to execute this file, the Python will be installed in your machine. And now the main point why we are downloading this, okay, why I'm going to execute this file in my machine. The point is, just in yesterday's session I have told you, because Python is a interpreter language, right? So in case of compiler language, if you want to discuss about the C and the C++, if you will discuss about these programming languages here, so you need to install a compiler in your machine. But in case of Python, if you want to execute a Python code, what is actually a program? So you can please mute, let me mute, don't worry. Now that's cool. So here, what we are discussing here, now the point is, what is actually a program? So if you will discuss about the program, so program is nothing, just you have to write some lines of code into a text file, okay? Just you can simply write that particular program using the notepad or any operator, it will be your choice. Now the point is, when you're gonna write a program successfully, how you will be able to interpret that program. That's why you need to install Python software in your machine. So now the Python is already downloaded in my machine. Let me check. So I have successfully downloaded the Python. Just let me open in showing folder. Okay, and now this is a Python what I have installed here. Now you have to install this file. Just click on this and just run as administrator here, and now the Python will install in your machine. And now only the one thing you have to remember when you want to try to install a Python in your machine, what thing you have to remember, okay, if you will not click on this, that will be also fine. You can do this later. So this is a one thing you have to remember, add Python 3.8 to path. Okay, what does it mean? When you're gonna click on this, and once the Python will be installed in your machine, just you will be able to execute the Python command from the terminal. Okay, when you wanna interpret your program, that you can simply execute the Python command from the terminal. That's, if I'm gonna show you, just I have execute the Python command from here, right? And now I'll get the interface as well. Now, if you will not click on that particular checkbox, so you will not be able to execute Python from your terminal. On that case, you have to do this step later. Okay, you have to add your path into the environment as well later. So, but I have already clicked on this button, just you can simply install Python in your machine. And now in my case, the Python is already installed. While it will take a moment to install again, might be it's a latest version I'm trying to install here. Now minimize it, it will take a while. And now open the Linux box here. Just give a time to the Windows box. And now I have switched into the Linux. Now in your case, if you want to install a Python in case of Linux, just you can open the same website, python.org. Okay, so in case of Linux, there's a multiple method to install a Python. Either just you can simply open this website, python.org, and from here just you can simply download the same file. Okay, and now it will take a while to download. It will give you the one archive file. Once you're going to download this, you can simply install. Another method in case of Linux, how you will be able to install this file, just open the command prompt. What command you going to use to install? Just you can simply use this command, sudo apt update. Okay, so I have already told you in case of Linux, Windows, my bad. And the next command you want to execute, sudo apt install python 3. Okay, now this is a command you have to install here. Let me execute this, and now it will install a Python in my machine. And now in my case, Python is already installed, only it will update some of things here. What command I have used, let me check it out again. So sudo apt update and the double and sign sudo apt install python 3. So this is a command what I have used in case of Linux. In case of Windows, my Python is tried installing. Let me check it out. It will take a while. Okay, once the Python will install, I'm gonna show you how you can simply verify it again, the Python is installed or not. Okay, just give me a moment. And now this is a normal Python software what I have installed. Some of times you have heard about the multiple IDE, and what is actually an IDE? IDE is nothing, that will be an isolated development environment. Why we are using the isolated development environment? So because if you will discuss about the Python programming, okay, if you want to write some Python program, so on that point, you don't need any IDE in some case, okay? But if you want to create a whole project, okay, in somehow you have to need an IDE as well. So why do you need an IDE? So first of all, I'm gonna create a Hello World program. Okay, so in how many way you will be able to execute the Hello World program? So I'm gonna show you. So the first of all, just the Python is installed on top of Windows box. Setup was successfully installed. Just close this, verify it again, open the terminal again here I'm going to open my terminal again. Now that's fine. CMD, or either you can also use the PowerShell as well. Here I'm going to verify Python is installed or not. You will look at this. I have installed the latest version of Python 3.8.5. And now this is how you will be able to download a Python in your machine. Now the next point, the one beautiful feature of the Python will give you the interactive shell for the practice session. Okay, if you want to do some practice in case of Python interactive shell, so you will get the Python interactive shell on command prompt. Just you have to write the Python there and you will get the interactive shell of Python. And what is it? In this case, if you will switch inside the Python interactive shell, just you can simply write your Python programs here for the testing purpose. Okay, you will not create your whole program into the interactive shell. Only you will test some things. Let me increase the size as well. Just give me a moment. Okay, might be I have to increase the size from here. Now that's cool. So this is an interactive shell of Python. Okay, what is it? Let's suppose if you want to define some variable. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to initialize the value of 10 inside the A. Okay, if you're going to define another variable, now this is, and now if you want to print the sum. So this is a one very basic way to use a Python, and now you will get the result. A plus B will be 30 and instantly you will get the result. But now the point is what you are trying to write here. Okay, if you want to print a hello world program, so this is a print function you have to use. Okay, we will discuss all these functions later as well in brief. Okay, I know this is I'm trying to say a hello world program using this particular method. So, and instantly you will get the hello world. So this is the beauty of the Python. It will give you the interactive shell instant, and where you're gonna write even a single line, hit the enter, instantly you will get the output as well. So this is a one way to execute your Python program. Okay, or the one line program you can simply say. Let me exit from the interactive shell. Okay, there's a multiple method to exit your interactive shell. Just exit. This is a one way, just hit the enter, or either just you can simply press the Control Z. Once you're gonna press the Control Z, hit the enter, and you will exit from the interactive shell of Python. Okay, this is a symbol. When you're gonna launch interactive shell, it look like this. Just exit from command prompt and you will go back onto your terminal. Okay, and in the same case, you will also get, okay, Zoom is ready, that's cool. Here, if I'm gonna open my Linux box as well, so here if you want to check it out, how you will be able to get the versions of Python, because I have already told you there's a two popular version of Python, the Python 2 and the another version is Python 3. Okay, in case of Windows, I have installed only one version, right? What version I have installed? I have installed a Python 3 there. But in case of Linux, I have installed a multiple version in my machine. How you will be able to check it out? Let me show you. So if I'm gonna use a Python hyphen version, this command, so it will execute a Python 2. Just look at this. If I'm gonna use another command name as Python 3, so it will give you the Python 3. So in my Linux case, in my Linux box, I have installed a two version of Python. The first one is 2.7, the another one is 3.8. Just we can simply use this method, and also in this case, you will also get the interactive shell. If you want to print hi all, and you will able to see this is a hi all or either hello world. So this is a one method to execute your program. Now comes to the next point. Yeah, I will also read your chat box as well. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I'm gonna show you as well as how you will be able to Jupyter. Don't worry, guys. I'm also show how you can simply use a Visual Studio Code. Just you have to wait for a second. Okay, my voice is break. Oh, excuse me. Just give me a moment. Let me check. And now I have shared my screen again. Let me check it out. What happened? So no audio issue. Okay, thank you for the confirmation. The ping rate is enough. No, thank you. Now the point, let's continue the session, guys. And now I have already told you just how can you simply install Python in case of Linux or Mac and in case of Windows as well. So the next thing what we have to learn here. So let me open the Windows as well again. And now this is a Windows box. And now in this case, now I'm going to tell you how you can simply install the IDE. And what are the IDE you can simply use here. It's your choice what IDE you can simply use. Either just you can simply use a Notepad. Oh, Notepad, actually it's not a IDE, but you can simply use a Notepad as well to write your Python program, or either just you can simply use a VS Code. Okay, well, Visual Studio Code, you can simply say, either you can simply use a PyCharm. Okay, so all these are the popular IDE you can simply use, or either you can simply use an Atom or Sublime. So it's your choice what you want to use here. But in my case, I'm gonna show you how you can simply install a Visual Code and how you can simply install the PyCharm and the Atom and the Sublime. Just what you have to do, just you can simply open your browser here. Okay, and before installing the IDE, just I'm trying to tell you how you can simply execute a Python program without the IDE. Okay, because Python is very easy, what I have told you. So now in this case, let's suppose if you want to create a one Python program here, for that just you don't need any ID first of all. Okay, we will do the ID part later. I'm gonna open the document here. Just this is the one, and now hopefully you are comfortable in Windows as well. So what I'm gonna do, just I'm gonna create a new folder, my program. Okay, just click on this. Okay, and now how Python is very easy, just let me show you. Just you have to create a one file here. Okay, and now this is a file what I'm trying to create, text document. What name I'm going to choose, just this is my first py. Just you have to choose the py extension here. Nice. And now I have to edit this file as well, file name extension, because I have to remove this particular txt from behind this. So let me remove, just I'll take a moment. And now this is done. And now this is a file what you have created, first.py. And now this is the actually Python file you have created here. Now if you want to check it out, just you can simply right click on this. You can simply install a default ID what you have in your machine. And now while it will take a while, let me, now this is a default ID you will get in Windows. And just here you can simply write to a Python program. And what I'm going to write, print hi all from Sachin. Okay, so this is the one basic program you have write. Just save this, done, and close. Yep, I want to save this file. Just I can simply close. Okay, I'm not able to write. So instead of, actually that's why I'm recommend to use command line most of the time. I'm not more comfortable in Windows. Just sorry for that. Just let me copy this. If you want to edit this file, just I'm gonna open this file using the command line. So here I'm gonna open the CMD. Okay, and here if you want to open the same file, just I'm gonna use this method, cd, where I have created the directory. Let me open. So that was a path what I have used. Just you can simply use this method, and now you have switched the directory and you are able to see. Let me show you. Okay, so if you want to open this file using a notepad, just you can simply use this commands notepad first.py. Okay, if you are a command line user, that either just we can simply click on this. So I have opened successfully this file. I'm going to write a one easiest Python program, hi all from Sachin. That's fine. Just I'm going to save this file, close this file here. And now the point, I have written a one Python HTML into my file. And now how can you execute this file? Okay, now this is a Python file, right? If you want to execute the hello world program again, so there's a multiple method to execute. Just what do you have to do? I'm going to exit the command line. Just where your file is exist, just copy this path, or instead just remove this and you have to type the CMD there. When you're going to do this, so your command prompt will open inside the same directory. And there, if you want to use a dir command, this is a file first.py. And now if you want to execute your Python program, there's a multiple method. The first method, just we can simply use a Python command. After that, just you can simply pass the first.py, instantly you will get the output. Hi all from the Sachin. Okay, so this is the one method. Either just you can simply use this command dot slash and then first.py. So also you will get this output, but this command is not available in Windows. Just instead of this, just we can simply use this method, Python first.py, or instantly you will get the output here, hi all from Sachin. So this is a one method to execute a Python program in Windows. Okay, and the another method, just you can simply double click on it, instantly it will give you the hello world result and go out. Okay, so that was another method. But now this is a normal view. Okay, how can you simply create a normal program using the Python? But now comes to the ID, how you can simply use the ID here. Now let me close this, guys. And now if you want to install some ID here, just open the browser and you can simply choose your favorite ID. VS Code I'm gonna choose, or either you can simply use PyCharm, and as well as I'm gonna use Anaconda as well. And now Anaconda is not a ID. Anaconda is a distribution of Python. The earlier name of the, if you want to use a Jupyter notebook, the earlier name of the Jupyter notebook was IPython there. Okay, so Anaconda is a distribution of the Python. Inside this distribution, you will already get the inbuilt libraries when you want to install the Anaconda in your machine. And inside the Anaconda, as well as you will get the multiple ID there, multiple notebook there, multiple, as well as you will get the spider there. So you can use any one of them. So I would like to install the individual edition of my Anaconda. Just you can simply click on this, learn more. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how you can simply install all these things, and now come to the bottom of this file. And now this is a method, guys. If you want to, if you are a Windows user or a Mac OS or a Linux user, just you can simply use a Anaconda. And when you're going to install a Anaconda on your machine, this is another distribution of the Python. What's the benefit of using Anaconda? When you go for a machine learning as well, there you need to use a Jupyter. Okay, so you will get all these methods, you will get all the library inside the Anaconda by default. This you have to download according to your system requirement. Okay, so I'm going to choose this. And in my case, actually, I have already installed the Anaconda as well. So when the installing will start, when the downloading will start, I'm going to stop this downloading, because I have already installed in my machine. Once this particular software will download in your machine, just we have to install, double click on this, read some menus there, and just accept the acceptance. So I'm going to show you how you can simply access the Anaconda as well. So let's suppose the Anaconda is installed. If you want to go for a PyCharm, just download the PyCharm. Once the PyCharm is downloaded, if you want to use PyCharm, on that case, you can simply download this. You can simply use a normal professional, or you can simply use a one trial version as well. Okay, because in case of PyCharm, you have to buy some license as well. Okay, or either just you can simply use a Visual Studio Code. Just download this. For Windows, I'm gonna use a system installer. Okay, that's file. So I'm gonna use this file, and now it will take a while to download. Okay, let's try to download file, and now it will take a 1 minute to download my file. Okay, VS Code setup. So this is a method, just how can you simply download. Once all the file will download in your machine, just you can simply install all of them. Okay, now this is a method in case of Windows, and now just give a moment to Windows. Okay, it will download your file. Let me go back to the Linux box. In case of Linux based operating system, or a Unix based operating system, if you are using, so here you can, how you will be able to download the Visual Studio Code. Just open the Firefox again. Let me open the Firefox first of all, and now google.com. That's fine. And just you can simply search the VS Code. The same method, download. And instead of Windows selector, just you have to use a Debian or the RPM based if you are using a Red Hat operating system. Okay, so in my case, I have downloaded the deb package there. Either in case of Mac, you can simply choose this. So this is a method to download the Visual Studio Code. In case of Anaconda, just use the same thing. Just you can simply select the Anaconda for deb. My bad. Now that's cool. So in case of Linux, in case of Windows, I have already told you how can you simply download the Anaconda. In case of Linux, yes, you can simply download this package. Okay, once it will download in your machine, just you have to execute. You have to install this software in your machine. That was actually a thing. So this is a method. Just you can simply select this file. In case of Linux, and I have already downloaded in my machine. And once you have installed all these files, what do you have to do? What's the next step you have to do? In my case, I actually have already installed the Visual Studio Code as well. You know very well how you can simply install the Visual Studio Code in my machine. So now I have installed all the things in my machine. And now let me demonstrate how you can simply use all of them. Okay, the one thing I'm going to read your chat box. Distribution of Python means, okay, let me increase. Jupyter is sufficient, right? Yeah, Jupyter is also sufficient, but I'm going to give you the one differences between the Jupyter and the Visual Code as well. Please continue the VS Code. Actually, I'm going to continue with VS Code and Jupyter as well. Okay, some chapters I'm gonna cover in Jupyter, and some chapters I'm gonna cover in VS Code. Yeah, VS Code is pretty good editor. Yep. Okay, thank you. So now next move forward, guys. Let me go back to the Windows here. So what I'm going to do, just might be the Anaconda is already installed in my machine. Let me start the Anaconda first of all. Okay. So I'm going to start the Anaconda navigator. Okay. It will take a while. Once the Anaconda will open, I'm going to go back to the Linux box because it will take more time to open the Anaconda. So come to the Linux as well. Now the point is what pattern I'm going to use here. So first of all, I'm going to explain to you. Just I have already told you guys. Now the point what I have told you. So let me open this, create a one diagram to understand all these things in brief. Now that's an diagram I have opened. Cool. So just look at this thing. So now the point what I'm going to tell you, let's suppose this is your Python file. Okay. And now this is a Python script what you have written, and now you can return anything what you want. Hi all. Now this is a Python script. And now the script name could be anything. You can simply take a hello.py. Okay. So this is a file what I want to execute, what I want to interpret, and you have written multiple lines. It's your choice. Print hi Sachin. Now that's fine. Okay. Now this is just an example. Okay. So this is a file what you want to interpret using your Python interpreter. And now this is your laptop or this is your machine what you are using. And now in this machine you have installed a multiple software. What software you have installed? So the first one you have installed a Anaconda. And what is Anaconda? Anaconda, it's a collection of multiple things. So let's suppose you have a Jupyter notebook. Okay. Some of you want to learn the Spider as well. Either you can simply use a Spider. Okay. Well, personally, I don't like the Spider. Either just you can simply use a VS Code. Okay. Either you can simply use a PyCharm. Thank you. Okay. So either just you can simply use a normal notepad, is always comfortable along, or either just you can simply use notepad along with command prompt. Okay, both will be comfortable. According to your choose, you can simply use any one of them. Okay, now you can simply use any one of them. I have already installed I have installed the VS Code, Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so I'm going to show you the example using the Notepad CMD, VS Code, and the Jupyter Notebook as well. How you will be able to execute your program using all methods. And when you're going to execute your programs, you will get your output sometime on top of terminal. Most of the time you will get your output on top of terminal. And now the point is what is the major difference between the Jupyter Notebook and the Visual Code and the PyCharm? If you're going to discuss about the VS Code and the PyCharm, both are the IDE, you can simply use any one of them. So the point is when you will discuss about the difference between the notebook and the IDE. So in case of IDE, if I'm going to discuss about the VS Code here, okay, and if I'm going to discuss about the Jupyter Notebook. So actually, in case of notebook, and if you're gonna discuss about the earlier version, and if a scientist wants to do some calculation, if scientist wants to do some experiment, so they will get a multiple result, right? And they will store all the result inside a one notebook or a diary. And that's why we are preferring a Jupyter notebook for the data science and for the machine learning most of the time, because whatever you're gonna execute inside the Jupyter notebook and what output you will receive from there, all the input and output, input as well output, you can simply store both of them simultaneously. Okay, if you're gonna shut down your notebook and you're gonna start your machine again, when you wanna start your machine again, so your output was you have already created, you can simply you will be able to see your output later as well. But in case of ID, if you are using any ID here, okay, and now you have write your code and you're gonna execute your code, so you will not be able to store your output here in this case. Okay, please don't use the notations, I will take your doubts, don't worry. Let me open the notation setting. Who will use the notations? I'll be able to see all of them. Just give me a moment. Tanuja, please don't use the notations. Everybody is disturbed. Let me clear these notations. I will check your doubts. Don't worry. If you will get any doubt. Okay. So what I have told you, another point, in this Visual Studio Code, if you are using a Visual Studio Code and you have write a one file, okay, if you want to execute this file, so you will get the output, but you will not be able to store this output for the future reference. Okay, but in this Visual Studio Code also you will get the hierarchy of your file. Okay, if you're going to create a whole project, what is actually a project? when you will create a big project, on that particular case you will create a multiple directories, right? And in multiple directories you will create a multiple files. So that's why we are using a IDE for creating a big project. If I'm going to show you the one example, okay, how you can simply store the different features, because right now we are using a monolithic programming. Okay, we are using a microservices. We are not using a monolithic, my bad. Because if I'm going to discuss these terms, okay, so just yeah, I'm checking theoretically because these are the first sessions. Because the earlier we were using a monolithic applications. Okay, this is a very necessary, you have to understand. And when we have used a monolithic applications, in that particular application I have write my whole functionality into one file. But right now what we are using a microservices. In this case, if your one functionality of your application is down, let's take an example of the Uber cab. Uber cab have a multiple functionality. Okay, what type of functionality Uber cab have? Payment integration. Okay, the customer database, the driver database, they have the navigations of the driver, they have the navigations of the customer. So there's a multiple functionality they have inside the Uber application. But if any one functionality will stop, they will not stop whole the app. That's why we are distributed a monolithic app into the microservices. Okay, what we have done, just this is a one, we have used a payment gateway. For the payment gateway we have created another file. For a navigation we have used another file. So that's why we have distributed our whole code into a different file, and we have used a different server for that. So that's why we have to use a ID to create our whole project. And now let's go back. Now that's enough to understand. Let me close this, minimize this. Now this is a normal, you are able to see this is a Linux box. First of all, I'm gonna create my first file on top of Linux. After that I'm gonna switch on top of Windows. Now, in this point, let's suppose if I want to create my first file of my Python program. Okay, I already told you most of the time we will also use the Python interactive shell as well to understand some short things. Okay, let's suppose I have already told you, if you want to print hi all from ADCRAN 000, just this is a one method to execute your program. Instantly you will get the result. Okay, but what happen if you want to create a project, if you want to create a file, okay, you want to store that file. So on that point, just you can simply open a Visual Studio Code first of all. Okay, so first of all I'm going to take an example of Visual Studio Code. After that I'm going to take an example of Jupyter Notebook. Just open this Visual Studio Code. Okay, once you have opened this particular file, what do you have to do? Just you can simply close the extra file what you have opened here. Now what I'm going to do is you have to select a one home directory. What does it mean? Where you going to store your whole programs. So in my case, let me open a one folder. Okay, and now you can simply choose any folder here where you would like to store your programs. So either you can simply select on desktop, document, or downloads, your choice. You can simply select anywhere. So what I'm going to do, let me create a one file, Python batch. That's fine. And here I'm going to, oops, I have created a very huge file here. Actually, I have to open another file. Let me open this why the command line might be, that's better. Just give me a moment. So open the terminal again. Here I'm going to open my batch file. I'm going to create a one batch for you, Python or skill center. That's cool. So this is the one directory what I have created here. Okay, it's nothing, it's actually directory normal. If you want to check it out, this is a normal directory what I have opened. Just look at this. Look at find the skill center directory. This is a directory. Now the point is, you like to open the Visual Studio Code inside this directory. Just copy this path, open this. Okay, here what command you have to use, I'm gonna show you Windows as well, don't worry about this. So what I'm gonna do is just you can simply use this method, code dot, this is a command you can simply use here. When you're gonna use this command, your Visual Studio Code open inside the skill center directory. Okay, there is a no file, that's why you are not able to see any file here. If you're gonna create some files there, your file will be there. In case of Windows, don't be confused. Let me open into the Windows, close Anaconda. Okay, we will discuss later about the Anaconda. So what we have to do, we have to install Visual Studio Code, right? Let me install. So actually you have to learn each and everything. Okay, so if you will get any ID, you will be able to do all your programs. You can simply able to execute all your programs in each and everything. Okay, yep. So accept the agreements, just read these arguments. Okay, okay, now let's create a desktop icon. That's cool. Add a path to the require. Now that's fine. And now it will take a while to install. Okay, the same method you can simply use in Windows as well to open your Visual Studio Code, what I have used inside the Linux box. What happened, HP? The username has SP user annotations. Please don't it. I will take your doubts, don't worry. And I'll launch the Visual Studio Code or just unclick and finish. And now what I think, let's suppose I want to store my programs on top of desktop. Just click there, create a new folder. And here I'm gonna store my Python programs. That's cool. Open this. And now the point what I have told you, if you want to open your Visual Studio Code inside this file, just you can simply, I like to recommend you use this method, CMG, and just use a code. Okay, just what I have told you, code or dot. Enter this and your Visual Studio Code will open here. Okay, either you can simply open the direct, after that you can simply select this folder as well. That was another method. Okay, some of students have been confused in command line. Just let me close it and open in a normal way. So here, if I want to open a Visual Studio Code, just use this method as well. Open this, and when you have opened this Visual Studio Code, just file, open the folder, which folder you want to open, where you want to store your program, desktop, Python programs. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. So this was another method. Just select this. I'm back, and you have successfully opened your Visual Studio Code inside the same directory. Now, what does it mean? It's nothing. Just close the welcome window. What I have to do? Just I'm gonna zoom in. If you want to create some Python program file, right? What do you have to do? Just you can simply click on this particular feature. If you want to create some folders, that this is a one thing. If you want to create some file, let me create a first Python file here, first.py. Okay, either you can simply took any name, the extension should be py. So this is the first Python file what I have created, and now it will give you some notifications to download the recommended extension. And when you want to download these extension, actually it will give you some extra features in Visual Studio Code. It will debug your code. If you have done some errors, it will highlight your errors. So it's recommended to download all these extensions. Okay, you will get the benefits when you want to download these extensions here. It's installing. Now I'm gonna write my first program here. Just you can simply write the same hi all from Sachin. That's cool. So here I'm gonna save my file, and now you have to know, guys, how you can simply execute this file actually. So if I'm gonna write hi all, no hi all, I'm gonna write, until you will not create a hello world program, you will not become a programmer. I'm just kidding. So this is a 2-line what I have written here. Just now the point, until you will able to see this particular white dot sign, your file is not saved. Okay, one you will use, just you can simply use a Control S, and once your file have been saved, yeah, this particular mark will be go from here. Just give me a moment. It will load my extension. That's why it will take a while. My Windows machine is always hang, but I am using my friend machine here. Install this extension as well. Okay, so it will give you the add-ons, it will give you the extra feature inside the Visual Studio Code when you will install these extensions. Okay, what I already told you, and now it will take a time to install. Just let it be. Okay, and now here I have successfully saved my file. This particular white dot have been removed from here. If I'm going to do another changes, just look at this. This particular file again come, Control S, and now this particular dot will have been changed. And now the point is, if you want to execute these programs, right, there's a multiple method to execute. I'm going to show 3 methods to execute the same program. So just look at carefully, guys. You should not be confused later, because I will not tell you again and again same things, because if you will get any error, just I'm going to tell you. So please be careful. So first of all, you will get this button at the right side. Okay, if you want to execute this program, just click on this button. Okay, and just look at this, you will get the output instantly. Hi all from Sachin, hello world, and the hi all. So instantly you will get the output of all three lines. Okay, and also you will able to open this terminal as well. Either just you can simply use clear command to clear, and this terminal has been clear. The first method you are able to see, right? Just close this. Now another method, if you want to execute the same program, sometimes this button will not become. If you want to download the new Jupyter in new Visual Studio Code in your machine, the another method to use this particular thing, just you can simply use a one shortcut to open the terminal. Okay, the what shortcut you can simply use, control plus backtick. So actually this is a symbol of backtick, just look at carefully. So this is a backtick what I have used, and you will find out the backtick on top of tilde button. Okay, hopefully got it. So I'm going to use a control plus backtick, and this particular panel will open. Once this particular panel will open, just you can simply use Python command. After that, just you can simply pass the file name, enter. Instantly you will get the output. So this is a second method to execute your program inside the Visual Studio Code. Okay, sometime if you will not find out this button, just you can simply use this method. If you will install a extension for that button, that particular button will come. So this is the two method, guys, how you can simply install your program. The another method what I have told you, just let me close this Visual Studio Code from here. Okay, this is a file. Please remove the notations, guys. I have to remove. Let's just, well, it will take a moment. I'll take your doubts, don't worry. So here, this is a file where I have created using Visual Studio Code in my directory here. Now, if you want to execute the same program, open the command prompt and the same method, Python. Yeah, I will check it out, Shruti, don't worry, Python. And the file name is hello. Execute this. That was another third method to execution in case of Windows, right? Hopefully you got it, all the methods, guys. And now let me check your doubts, what happened. So I have to scroll each and every time to the down bottom. Okay, so I have installed 3 point, but showing internal external command. Just I have told you, Sanju, one thing. Okay, sometimes guys you will get a one error actually. Okay, what this is a very common error you will get when you're gonna use just like this method. I'm gonna show you, don't be confused. Let's suppose I'm gonna write a Sachin command here. Okay, and now instead of Sachin, when you're gonna when you're gonna execute a Python command, so you will get the same error. The Python is not recognized as an internal or the external command. Okay, this is a very common error everybody will face here. And this error will face because if you don't click on checkbox what I have told you. Okay, and if you have forget click on checkbox when you have installed Python in your machine, so how you can simply fix this error. So I'm going to share one PPT at the end of the session as well along with you, and I'm going to show you as well. Don't worry about this, that you have to wait for this. So let me take your more doubts. Can you please go slowly? Actually, yeah, okay. I'm go slower, don't worry. How you can download the installation Ubuntu, sir? I will tell you how you can simply download the Anaconda. Can you please go slow? Okay, everybody's no. Okay, so let me take it slow again. Don't worry, guys. There's another assignment for today. The assignment will be only for you have to set up your environment. Let me go back and open it again. So what I have told you, so the point is, let me explain again all the things, not to worry about these things. So first of all, what I have told you now, Python program is a just file. Okay, Python program is a normal file. Just you can simply write your Python program there. When you're gonna write your Python program, just you can simply execute in a multiple method. You can simply use a Visual Studio Code. You can simply use a Jupyter as well. It's your choice. So in my case, what I have done, so I have opened a Visual Studio Code, and once I have opened a Visual Studio Code, the first method to execute your program, you can simply click on button. You will find out on top of left. The another method you can simply execute via the terminal of VS. The third method of the execution directly via the terminal. Okay, so these are the three methods to execute your program. Okay, let me go back. Let me repeat it once more time. Don't worry. So I have opened this directory. So in this directory, I would like to store my Python programs. So this is the one program what I have already created here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to open my Visual Studio Code. Okay, I have to open this Visual Studio Code in case of Windows. So I have to search here. I have successfully opened this. And now I want to store my programs on the directory. And so what I have to do, just you have to select file here. You have to open the folder. Okay, and you have to select in which directory you want to store your all programs. I have selected this, just click on this button. That's fine. And now the point, if you want to create more Python files here, just program more Python program, just you can simply create here. Okay, we will discuss all these features as well. Okay, what is actually a print and why I'm using a set of parentheses as well. Okay, we will discuss all these things. This is just view to example how you can simply execute a Python programs. So I'm trying to create a new file here. The name of the file I'm going to took a new.py. Okay, so this is a Python program file what I have created here. Just you have to click on this file and this file has been created. And now if you want to write any Python program, okay, on that case, just I'm going to write in normal hello world program here. Hi all from AD Grand 000. The another line if I want to write, just you can simply write another line as well. Hi all or the bye all. Okay, so these are the two Python programs line what I have written in my file. Just if you want to save this, you are able to see the white round sign here. Okay, just when you want to save you, along with the control S, that particular sign will be go from there. Now this is a one Python program I have created. Now if you want to execute your Python program, there's a two method you can simply use. Just click on this button. Okay, instantly you will get the output. Just look at this. Hi all AD Grand from AD Grand and bye all. So you have written in two lines there. Instantly you will get the output of two lines as well. This is a one method. If you want to execute using the command line, just you can simply write a Python command because you want to execute this file using a Python software, right? So for that, just you can simply use a Python command and you can simply write in new.py and enter this, and instantly you will also get the output. So this is a second method to execute your Python file using the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so hopefully you understood now. Let me close this. The another method to execute these file, just you can also double click on this. The another one more method is you can simply open the command prompt into the current directory using this CMD. Okay, so this is the one shortcut you can simply use. Just you have to write the CMD here. Your command prompt will open into the current directory. Once you have done this, just this is the one basic command you have to execute. What command you have to execute? The Python and the file name. Hit the enter, instantly you will get the output of your, instantly you will get the output from your program. So this is a method how can you simply execute the Python program using the command prompt, using the Visual Studio Code. Okay, and go back to the Linux box now. In this case, as well as you will use the same method, there's no difference between here. Let me open the Visual Studio Code here as well. Now this is a Visual Studio Code I'm going to open into the Linux box. And here I'm going to use the same method as well. Just if you want to create files, just click on this and I'm going to create a one hello.py. The program will be same, nothing will be changed here. Okay, only, okay, now that's fine. So I'm going to write hi all from AD Grand 000. That's cool. I'm going to write a one more thing here. Print hi all. That's, I have written two lines here. I have saved this program. Click on this button again. Instantly you will get the output. The another method, use the same command, file name. You will also get the output. So these are the methods to create your files, create your Python program files using the Visual Studio Code. How you can simply execute this file, I have told you. Now comes to the Jupyter Notebook. And now Jupyter Notebook is a little bit tricky as compared to Visual Studio Notebook, because in this file, you will not store the output what you will get from here. Because if you want to execute again this program, okay, you are getting this output, right? But you will not be able to store this output anyway. Okay, when you're going to close the Visual Studio Code, so only you will find out your file. You will not store your output here. So let me close this. And now we will discuss about the Jupyter Notebook. And now let me check your doubts again. In C++, there is a failure feature which is clear screen. We can be clear rest of the output in terminal of VS Code. Yep. Actually, that was a in case of Python, just you can simply directly execute a one command on top of the terminal. In case of Windows, the command is CLS. Okay. In case of Linux, the command is clear. How to execute on VS Code terminal? Please show on one more time, Shraddha. I have told you. Let me take it one more time. Don't worry. So it will take you open. So can you writing code very fast? Sometimes we are not able to understand. Actually, we are not writing anything. This is just a hello world program. Okay, second method of execute told you. So creating the file one more time on VS Code. Okay, let me create, don't worry. When I'm running my VS Code, it's showing that the term Python is not recognized. So if it will show you the Python term is not recognized, that means you didn't install Python in your machine. You have to verify it. Okay. So if you want to just, I have created one more file. Just check it out, guys. A file name ad.py. Save this. Right. I'm gonna create a hello world. That will be nice. Good enough. I'm gonna save this. If you want to execute this file, just open the terminal. Okay, how you can simply open this terminal, use a shortcut name control plus backtick, and this is a backtick sign you will find out on top of till. Just use a Python command and give the file name, hit the enter, you will get the output instantly. There's a no issue to execute the file. Got it? Now come to the second point. As some of you, if you didn't set up a environment, so let me clear the notations of the Bhanumati. Please don't use the notations. So here what I'm trying to do now, some users will find out this particular error. Okay, now this is a very common error you will find out, guys, just sometime when you're gonna use a Python command. Okay, in my case I'm able to get my interactive shell. Okay, that means I have successfully installed Python in my machine. But some of you didn't set the environment, right? If you want to execute the Python command, you will get this type of error. The Python command is internally or externally not found. How you can simply resolve this error? So just look at carefully, and you have tried to learn these steps. Otherwise, I'm going to share the one PPT as well. First of all, you have to open the My Computer. Okay. And now what you have to do, actually, you have to set the environment variable, because when you're going to execute any command here, okay, when you want to execute any command, just look at this. When I'm going to execute the Sachin, so it will tell me ki Sachin, it's not a command in internal or external command. What does it mean? It's not able to fetch the Sachin file, okay, using a batch file. The extension should be batch. So that's why it will, when you will try to execute a Python file, so it will not able to search Python file in your machine, because it will not able to find the path where the Python file is stored. You have to tell to the environment variable. So how you can simply able to do this thing? So first of all, you have to find out where you have installed Python. So the Python is default path. Just go to the local disk C. Just go to the users as well. What user you are using? 1FPS in my case. Into the 1FPS, just you have to open the app data as well. Let me open. Just click on hidden item as well, guys. When you want to open the hidden items, you have to click app data. Inside the app data comes to the local. Inside the local comes to the programs. And now this is Python. And now this is a path you have to remember. I'm gonna paste this path as well into the chat box. Okay. To everyone in meeting. Now that's fine. So this is a path what you have to use when you're gonna try to set this particular environment file. Let me go back, and now it's freeze. What happened? That's cool. So this is a path you have to copy, guys, because just if you are able to see, this is a Python command. Okay, if you want to execute, and you instantly you will get the Python interactive shell. Okay, so each and every software you will be find out in your machine. Just instead of open your software from the GUI, instead of you open your software from the desktop, just you can simply directly execute those commands. So this is a python.exe file. Now you have to tell this path into the environment variables. How you can simply set this particular path? Just you have to copy the upper path where this file is exist, copy, and now click on right click on this PC, and when you want to click right click on this PC, then you have to click on the properties as well. Okay, might be I'm always forgetting in case of Windows. And now once you're going to click on properties, you have to choose the advanced system setting. Okay, and now in case of advanced system setting, let me zoom in a little bit. Might be it will comfortable along with you guys. And now that's cool. Once you're going to click advanced system setting, and this is a one thing you will find out the environment variables. Okay, so you have to click on this environment variables. Okay, when you want to click on this, so these are the paths, environment variables. Okay, and now in this case, how can you simply set the path? Just you have to click on this path button. Once you're gonna click on this path, you have to edit this. And now I'm going slower. And now you have to add the Python path. Just click on new or copy paste that particular path. But in my case, just look at this. If you are able to see, I have already added this path, right? Because I have already clicked on that particular checkbox when I was trying to install my Python in my machine. This is a one method to set up the environment path. Yes, I have done this. Okay, I'm gonna cancel because I have already done. Just again okay and cancel and the apply and blah blah blah. So this is the one method to set up your environment path in case of Python. Hopefully you got it. But don't worry, I'm gonna share one more PPT as well. How can simply set up this path. And now in this tutorial, we are not able to set up the Jupyter notebook, guys. Don't worry. We will explain the Jupyter notebook in next session as well. Okay, how can you simply using a Jupyter notebook? How can you simply use a Jupyter notebook to execute your programs? Just let me take your doubts. Open the chat box. If you have any doubt, just you can simply let me know into the chat box. But I have installed a Python keeping folder in separate place. Okay, then if you have installed a Python in a separate place, Suyash, then you have to copy that particular path and paste into the environment variable. And the Yogesh have told in VS extension, it's also giving the linting. Yeah, you can simply install the linting. Actually, that was a very pretty extension you can simply use. Can we use Google? Oh, just you can simply contact me later on my Slack. You can simply send a message to me. What's the use of Jupyter? We will discuss about the Jupyter tomorrow. Don't worry. So in my PC, I have installed Python. Yep, Ajay, you have to install. Where you have shared this session's PPT. I'm sharing all these PPT into the Slack workspace, guys. In ID, I have to install Python, PyCharm, and the Anaconda install. Yep, you have to install Python there. And yes, the assignment for today is only you have to set up your environment your own. Okay, this is an assignment for today. You have to install Python software. You have to install ID in your machine. That's only about for today. We will give you the best assignment when we will learn about the data structure as well. Just we have to wait for a moment. Can you please explain the methods to executing? Actually, I have told multiple times how can you simply execute the programs in Windows as well. .py extension. Okay, .py is extension of the Python program file. .exe extension of the Windows executable file. You can explain total course in VS. Actually, around 50% course I'm gonna use in Jupyter notebook because this is a very helpful in your future as well when you go for another course as well. And 50% remaining syllabus I'm gonna use in Visual Studio Code as well. Don't worry. Okay, you are using the notations, Anumati, only, but you didn't ask any question. So let me know what's your doubt. So today's class only just an installation of demo application. Yep, actually it's take more time. Just you have to install linting extension is VS Code using the normal VS Code extensions there. You will find out there. Okay, done, sir. Thank you. PyCharm is enough. Yeah, PyCharm is also enough. Not to worry. If you don't want to use just Jupyter and VS Code, PyCharm will be enough there. Okay, I think I have already give you the. Yeah, we will discuss about the double quote and the single quote Avinash later. Don't worry about this. We'll discuss all these things in brief. How to convert py to ex. That was actually advanced method. We will go for a later. How you can simply build your file. Okay, if you have created a py file, how can you simply execute? How can you simply convert .exe? That was a later field. Don't worry. First of all, you have to know how can you simply create our programs. Okay, just you can simply use. I'm going to give you one example, Sarthak. You can simply use a PyBuilder tool there. Okay, PyBuilder is a tool to build your Python file. The Jupyter is fine. Okay, now that's fine, guys, and now it's time to wrap up our session. Okay, you can simply use any ID according to your comfortable, but in my case I'm going to use a Visual Studio Code and the Jupyter, and I'm going to drop these PPTs. Okay, and what PPT I'm going to drop today? So I'm going to drop the PPT for the how can you simply set up the environment variables in case of Windows. So I'm going to drop this PPT into the Slack workspace, and now let me save this chat for the later. Just it will take a moment. And now that's cool. And here, let me wrap up this session, guys. See you tomorrow at the same time. Goodbye.